is, geez, I should have really looked at the time before I did this. 6:32. I knew it was around 6:30. 6:32. Coming to you live from the shop, the frankly dead shop. We had some business today. We had some business this week, better than last week. So, thank God we've been a little busy, but this evening is quite dead. I don't think there's been a person in the store in like 45 minutes to an hour. Why didn't I do the live stream earlier then? Well, I did a lot of work earlier today. Some paperwork, damage reports. I made a whole bunch of new signs for the new display for the holidays that I've been talking about. And then I kind of just despaired, I got sad. It's not that we desperately need the business as much as I'd like the business. Had a customer come in. Her girlfriend works up at the ShopRite, and they have one car, so she said she was stuck there while her girlfriend worked. She had nothing to do today. She walked down from up by the ShopRite. Okay, I knew about the second part, the Masters of the Universe ongoing, Joe, but I didn't know anything else. Silent Hill, sure. Yeah, everyone loves pharmaceutically created zombies. Is that Silent Hill? Are they pharmaceutical created zombies, or is the Netherworld came through? I don't remember. But yeah, everyone loves zombies. That's how you know I don't have a real audience, that I'm not afraid to say completely nonsense things about video games that I don't know anything about. Anyway, she bought a bunch of stuff in the sale. She was really excited by the sale and bought 10 different books besides for other books. So that was great. I had some people who ordered some books last week come pick up the books they ordered. That was also good. But yeah, it's just a little Resident Evil. Resident Evil, right, is the Umbrella Corporation, right? Silent Hill's what? What's Silent Hill? The Pyramid Head? Is that Silent Hill? Is that from Silent Hill? I don't know. I don't know video games. It's very funny. I had somebody, I was showing them the Choose Your Own Adventure Star Trek, the Lower Decks, and they're like, oh, I love Lower Decks. I said, yeah, I read the miniseries that Ryan North did, and I read this Choose Your Own Adventure, which Ryan North did, which I love, but I didn't read the ongoing series because I think it was after the final season, and I delivered a Coke when I was asked for a Pepsi. All right. No Coke, only Pepsi. Cheeseburger. Anyway, so I said, yeah, I haven't watched the final season of Lower Decks. I didn't finish on... So I had to read the comic. And like, you've got to watch the final season. And I was like, well, I told you about this Choose Your Own Adventure book that one of you didn't know about. That's my job. I don't watch the things, I read the things. So that was a nice little conversation. Anyway, somebody sent me Metaphor for Grief. Sure, I've been there. Let's look at the new books we've got. I said I only had about a dozen new books, but then a bunch of deliveries came on Wednesday and Tuesday. So first we've got the Complete Friday, amazing, beautiful deluxe edition. Friday originally came out digitally. You can actually still get it on Panel Syndicate right here. I think it's Pay What You Want on Panel Syndicate. Highly recommended. It's basically an Encyclopedia Brown meets a cosmic horror kind of thing, though I don't want to say cosmic horror, that's pushing it, but the general idea is kind of cosmic horror. That's Friday. That's the Encyclopedia Brown. What was his tough friend? What was her name? She's a tough girl. So this one's named Friday. She's tough. He's a genius, and they solve mysteries together. Yeah. So anyway, it came out in soft covers that were, I think, each about $15. So together, all three of those cost $45. This is $50, and you get a nice hardcover and loads of extras. Highly worth it. We got the fourth Barb versus the Lich Queen. Love the Barb books by Dan and Jason. Absolutely one of the best things you can get for a kid who loves Dogman, but is ready to move on to other stuff. Really just fun and hilarious. We three, if you have, I said this to a customer the other day on Tuesday when it was at, if you have not read We Three, you absolutely should. There's very few comics that I will say, if you're interested at all, just read them. Don't worry about it. We Three is one of them. It is a little thin for one of the DC $10, but considering that the other edition of We Three that's out costs $20, it's half the price. Great size. We Three is, I always say, Homeward Bound meets RoboCop. That's the simple way of selling it. But if you watch my friend's sketch podcast, you'll also hear Grant Morrison talk about the artistry of this book, how much work went into making this book look as beautiful as it did. So here Asumi has a volume 7, sorry. Rai has volume 2. Drops of God volume 1, Tease Me Harder. I have a customer who does like their BDSM stuff, and I said, do you want me to hold you this? I said, yeah, I'll give it a try. And I said, yeah, it looks really, really sweet. And yeah, that's my only issue. That's what I'm worried about, is might be a little too sweet. And I said, yes, it wasn't meant as a positive. I was warning you that it might be a little sweet. We've got Blue Period, volume 16. Lindsay, we do sell chapter books. We don't sell all the chapter books, so you'd have to let me know which one in specific you wanted, but we do have ability to order them. Blue Period, volume 16. Blue Period hasn't had a book in almost a year, I think. I think the last Blue Period came out at the beginning of 2025. Michal Sanlaville is the amazing artist on Last Man, an incredible French adventure series. This is Banana Soul, which is about a made-up sport. And I'm very excited for it because I love Sanlaville's, sorry, I cannot pronounce his name, Sanlaville's art. It's very loose and fun while also being very kinetic in motion and movement, as you can see here in this simplified outline. Even just this person laying down. Really fun. Like I said, very excited for that one. Sailing Around the World. Sailing Alone Around the World. John Buehler adapting Joshua Slocum's famous journal of travel. Electric Life. The hidden radiance of everything, how electricity moves from our bodies to the world around us. Fascinating read. I have one at home ready to dive into. The big release of volumes, Absolute Martian Manhunter Volume 1. This is the absolute title. Everyone who's been telling you that Absolute Batman is great or Absolute Wonder Woman is amazing will then say, oh, but Absolute Martian Manhunter is the best. I don't agree. I think Absolute Martian Manhunter, by being a mini-series, has to end before we can say how great it is, but artistically, it is definitely the most unique and wonderful of the Absolute books that have come out so far. Gorgeous, gorgeous book. We actually have more copies coming, so I was afraid of selling out of it pretty quickly. We already sold out of a bunch of them. Nocturos by Laura Perez. We had this before, but it's been a long time since we had it. We got it again. That came out last week. Girl Comics. All 12 issues of Girl Comics from the 1940s and 50s. Richard Corbin's Rat God, which actually came out pretty recently, before he passed away, within the decade at least. Not his earliest work. We've got a Witch Hat Atelier coloring book. If you love the art of Witch Hat, it's a book worth having. Just for that, just to see the details close up. A lot of these are zoomed in panels. A lot of them are original bits of art that were made for frontispieces, and now you can see them more in depth and color them. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm not a coloring book person. I keep wanting to bring this home. DC Finest, Earth's Other Green Lantern. This is the storyline where Guy Gardner becomes a Green Lantern, as well as continuing through John Stewart becoming one. We got Monstrous Volume 10, and we've got the complete tech jacket. It's Robert Kirkman's Invincible World. They're doing compendiums to basically everything. It's not Invincible, so Tech Jacket just got his own. And that's all the books. That's all the books. But there were single issues this week. Now, what's really crazy is that there weren't just single issues. There was a big single issue release. right? I did a video of it. Kind of like a big deal. Nowhere near the turnout. I had people come in for it who I haven't seen in a while. So definitely a lot of people came in for it, but nothing like the first one, which was the first Marvel DC crossover in 20 years. So that one had real crazy turnout. I will say this is what I kept telling customers, which I think is really interesting, is I really was unimpressed with the Deadpool Batman, Deadpool, the Batman Deadpool variant covers when I saw them in the catalog, and there's still some that I'm not a huge fan of. But seeing them up close, like this one, I hadn't liked this one when I saw it, digitally, and I'm not sure if you're going to get it here, but it's really interesting is this is all like ink wash for the tone, and this is all lines. So that's interesting. This one, I hated this one when I saw it in the catalog, but I love it now. And as I said already, I mentioned this earlier in the week, I really liked the Batman Deadpool, the main Grant Morrison written story. They really knocked it out of the park. But that's not all there is. There's other number ones. We've got Capes, which is an Invincible. Oh, I see what Conrad's doing here. He thinks he's clever. We got Capes. We've got Jean Le Carré, Final Boss, Tyler Kirkham's new one. Josie and the Pussycats one-shot. Lion King, this is a new storyline, similar to the Scar comic, which told the bits and pieces of the movie we didn't see, where Scar was, what he was doing then. This does similar with Mufasa and some of the other characters, showing you a wider world. And Galman, who is the artist and the writer, knocks it out of the park. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Stunning art. We've got the new Fantagraphics Disney stuff continuing. It's Legacy 333 for Mickey. Phantom Blot's Double Revenge, again, from like 2017 or 18. Mickey Comics. Jed MacKay kicks off a new run of Rich Rider as Nova Centurion. He's looking over everything, taking care of everything. Beautiful Frank Miller cover. Got the latest issue of Sonic the Hedgehog, a Spider-Man holiday special. Why is Sonic up here? That doesn't belong up there. Spider-Man holiday special. New issue of the Twilight Zone. I've mentioned this before. The Twilight Zone is getting great artists to do standalone stories. So this is Tom Scioli doing a classic kind of Twilight Zone episode in a far future. Obviously a big metaphor for everything we go through. X-Men of the Apocalypse, the new Jeff Loeb, Simon DeMeo story of what happened after Age of Apocalypse ended. Here's Daniel Warren Johnson cover. Latest Ultimates, last issue of One World Under Doom, Absolute Flash, and other ongoing comics. We've got, yes, Star Trek, Sonic, Vampirella, Viking Moon, Punisher, Nightwing, Mary Sue, Harley Quinn and Elvira, Good as Dead, the Wonderful Lapham series, Exquisite Corpse, Amazing Spider-Man. Then we've got second issues of Terminator Metal, Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe, issue 5, Godzilla, Starship Godzilla, the really interesting one of the new Godzilla Universe books, the Kaisei era. I think that's the best one. Red Book Volume 2, Predator Kills the Marvel Universe 4, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Turtles 3, number 3, Deluge number 2, a whole bunch of Absolute Batman reprints, number 2, number 3, number 9. Now, I can't bring myself to stock tons of these because we have the trade. But there are people looking for them. I got another phone call today asking if we have first printings of Absolute Batman. Ridiculous. X-Men Book of Revelations 2, Unbreakable X-Men 2, Radioactive Spider-Man 2, Omega Kids 2, The Last Wolverine 2. And that is where we're at for all of our books. That's everything that came out this week that we still have in stock. Like I said, a little bit upsetting how much we still have in stock, how few people came out for Batman Deadpool, but I'm not really worried. I think there's just it's not that social media has changed since September, that people didn't know about it. It's that in September, that was, what is happening? Everything's falling. Hold on. Is that in September, that was the first crossover. And in all the talks of those crossovers, they're like, and they're doing another one by DC later. And no one put a little note in their phone, I don't think. I know my friend Mark at Oh Yeah Comics in Westchester. He said they opened 2 hours early because of Batman Deadpool. And in those 2 hours, they did a full Wednesday's run of business. Just people coming in and buying lots of copies. Sunday, someone came in here and said, wait, you still have Deadpool Batman? You have the Marvel? And I'm like, he goes, no one has that anymore. And I'm like, are you serious? It's getting to the point where I feel like I should just take random comics I have and be like, hey, we still have these. Like I saw Strange Adventures is one of the stories I love. They wrote, we still have a couple of covers from that, and they put the price up. The price was up to like 15 Canadian, so I don't know exactly the exchange rate, but like $15 for us. I'm like, I have a couple dozen Deadpool Batman still. So are those like highly collectible, hard to find? I feel like they shouldn't be. But maybe we should start putting them in bags. Let me know in the comments. Should I start selling them for $10 each? All the Deadpool Batmans from Marvel from 2 months ago, or certain covers? I don't know. I should have Joe Ciano do some research for me. All right. Probably will not be a live stream tomorrow. We're trying to get it to like 4 a week. So I did Sunday, did Monday, I did Wednesday, I did Thursday. So 4 a week I think is not terrible. Not exactly daily, but we're not going to change the name. That's about it. We've been on here for about 15 minutes, more than 15 minutes. I don't want to make these longer. I will say, if you have not gone and watched my Witch Hat Atelier video, I really would appreciate it if you did. And that's that. If you saw any of the books here that you want to order or get, let me know. Until next time, remember, damn it, babies, you gotta be kind.